Hey family, welcome to the Hub. So today I'm excited because I have Jay West, the Crown Corrector. Hey, from Miami, Florida. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. Let's get it popping, boo. Let's go.
Hey, I'm excited
Yes.
too. So come on, Jay. You know, we kind of nosy here on the show. So we want to know a little bit about your love journey.
Oh wow, it's been a long journey. Let me tell you, Cass. Listen, but let me expound on the crown corrector. The crown corrector entails correcting the crowns or putting jewels in other queens' crowns, right? To help them know their value, their self-worth, who they are, what the boundaries are, what they will accept, what they won't accept, being who they are, right?
Yes.
Without apology. All right. So that's being the crown corrector, right?
Yeah.
Also being strong in who you are. Again, knowing your worth and knowing your value. So that what entails the crown corrector. Straightening crowns one crown at a time, right? Building the queendom. All right. So my love journey, I have been unlucky in love, coach. I think I need help. I think I need help. Yeah, yeah, sad
What
face.
happened? What
Sad
had
face.
happened? Tell me,
Okay.
girl.
All right. So I was in a committed relationship, right? Just to find out that I was the only one committed.
Oh.
Right. So I was cheated on. I
Mm.
mean, the gentleman even had children, and I still was there. I still was there. Yeah, yeah.
You
Listen,
stuck through all of it.
all of that, I still was there. The young lady contacted me. She was the mistress. She knew about me. We were living together, and she called me on the phone. And I was like, "Who are you?" She was like, "Well, I have kids from him. Not one child, but two children." And
No.
listen, the room went black. I don't know. I mean, I think I passed out temporarily, lost consciousness. So I woke him up because we were asleep. This is like 12 o'clock at night. So I was like, "Are you kidding me?" She was like, "No." And I said, "How old are they?" She said, 1 and 3, right? And I was like, "Are you kidding?" Now we had a 2 year old. So he had a 1 year old from her, a 2 year old from me, and a 3 year old from her.
As the
Meaning,
world turns.
meaning he had a child with her before he had a child with me. The
Oh my
main chick,
goodness.
right? The main one, right? So I woke him up, and do you know he had the nerve to get upset with me because I found out that he had children? Oh yeah, it was chaotic. It was chaotic.
No, the
Oh yeah.
disrespect.
Oh, sis, disrespectful. And then the chick told me, listen, no matter what you do, I'm still gonna have sex with him. I don't care. And she continued. She continued to have sex with him.
Did you leave?
No, I
What
stayed.
happened?
I stayed for another 3 to 4 years. I stayed fighting with her, battling with him,
Wow.
longing for him, hoping to get back to our happy place that was never a happy place, right? And I
Hmm.
stayed. Yeah, I stayed. And I had to
Oh,
ultimately say, you know what? This is not for me. I got to get out of this. I was losing weight. I lost my hair. Girl, it was ridiculous. It was
what
ridiculous.
was the thing though that made you stay? Because there's many women, right? There's many women that find out their man cheated and kids and all this stuff. And what was it at first that made you stay those extra couple years?
Okay, what? Okay, my love for him, right? I
Mm,
loved him. I was committed to him. See, Cass, when I'm in, I'm all in.
yeah,
Like coach, put me in the game. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And when I'm in the game, I'm there to play. I'm there to stay. So my
right.
love superseded the hurt, right?
Mm,
And I allowed what he needed and what he wanted to supersede what I needed and what I wanted, right? And then he
yeah.
was so apologetic. I mean, the tears would flow, and he would say he wouldn't do it again, just
Mhm.
to do it again. When I would catch him because I knew where she stayed, so I would do my little drive-bys, and he would be there. I know,
We've
right,
all
girl?
done the drive-by.
Listen, okay? It was really a crazy time for me. But let me tell you too, coach, what I did was to satisfy my need to be validated, to be loved, to feel connected to someone. I started to cheat,
Mm,
right? That was a form of catharsis for me, right? That was my outlet. That was my safety zone of sorts,
yeah.
right? So I started to seek the validation and acceptance of other men. So that's what I did for
Okay.
that 3 to 4 year period that I stayed. Yeah.
So he had one foot out, you had one foot out, and yet
Right.
you were still home.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. So what was a defining moment that said no more?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. Great question. Um, I knew my worth, right? I started to know, like, okay, let me back it up. When I would be with these gentlemen, right, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back. Hey, hey,
Hey.
hey.
Right.
when I would be with these guys, it still was not satisfying.
Mm,
After the dinners, after the, the intimate contact, right? I still
mhm,
felt empty. I
mm.
still felt like I was lost. I still felt that disconnect, right? Because the
Yeah.
man that I loved and truly, but I believed I was in love with, he was over there, right? So no matter the accolades, no matter the validation, no matter the what I felt I wanted from those gentlemen, I couldn't. It was never satisfying. It was
Yeah.
never satisfying. So ultimately, I had to go back to being who I was as Jay, realizing what I needed as a woman, right? As a mother, right? As a lover, as a person I wanted to be in that one-on-one connection. So I had to disconnect from the outside ventures, and I had a very candid conversation with him, and I decided that it would be no more because he could not control his insatiable appetite for another woman. So
Mm.
that if that's what he wanted to do, that was fine, but I'm not going to be a part of that. Okay. So then I wrote a book. I wrote a book about it, which is hilarious. I was dubbed the relationship expert, right? The woman who can't get it right. Me, the
Yeah.
relationship expert. So I wrote a book called The Cheating Guide from a Woman's Point of View, right?
Mm,
I'm not condoning it. I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm
mhm.
saying if you decide to do it, there's a right way to do wrong,
Oh,
right?
come on, right, wait.
So that's what it is. So listen, and people were criticizing me like, "Oh, you're promoting cheating," and you're. I said, "Listen, before I wrote that book, people were cheating, right? While I was
Mhm.
writing that book, they were cheating. After I wrote the book, they're cheating. So I mean, are you serious?
There's a right way and a wrong way.
Right? There's a right way to do wrong, right?
Mm,
So that's what I wrote about, the cheating guide from a woman's point of view, and I
yeah.
wrote about the ways women cheat and the do's and don'ts to the cheating guide. Yeah, to
Mhm.
the cheating guide, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
that was my therapy, and that's what I needed. That was my outlet, right? So I
Yeah.
had to separate from the relationship, and I ended it. I ended it. It was very hard, very
But how
challenging.
did you end it? How did you walk away? Because that's also something, right? You've been
Mhm,
entangled
mhm.
for years. You have children, there's other children, there's the
Yes.
back and forth, there's the love, there's the intimacy, there's the chemistry, there's that connection.
Uh,
You live together. Like how did you actually step off? Like how did you actually separate from this man, even though you have kids together?
Right, I know, but it was a process, right? Like going in and out of love, right? So listen, he would come, he would call, I would break down, I would give in, and then here we are again together, right? And then I would
Yeah.
catch him again. It was an emotional roller coaster. It wasn't like I cut it off today and it was done. Oh no,
Right.
no, coach. Oh no, coach. No, it was another lingering year of the back
Yeah.
and forth. Okay, I'm gonna do right. Okay, I love you. I want to be committed to you. Let's make this work. Okay, let's do it. And here it is again, right? And then I
Listen,
decided,
we
how can I
we've all
continue?
been through that.
Listen,
Okay, go
how can
ahead.
I continue to hurt myself? But let me tell you what was the problem was, coach. I was stricken with BDS. Do you know what BDS is?
What is BDS?
Big syndrome.
Hey, there we go. See, I
Bring
knew
it
it,
back, bring it back,
boy.
bring it back.
It took you over.
I had a
That's what it
problem.
was.
I had a problem. It
That's
was
what took
crazy.
you.
Big syndrome. I had it. He had it, and he know he had it, right?
Mm,
So he used it to his advantage. Right? And the only cure, the only cure for BDS is maturity, knowing your self-worth, knowing your self-value, and tapping into that. It's no medical cure, right? You just
yeah.
have to know your worth and your value at the end of the day and say, hey, I'm worth more than that. Right? And I can get it hardware.
So how did you set that boundary? Because you have a child together,
Mhm.
right? Or children. You have child or children?
A child, one child.
You have one child together.
Yes.
So how did you set that boundary yet still have the co-parenting thing go on? Like what did that look like or does
Okay,
that look
well,
like?
first of all, I decided that we would have to get, because when he would come, here we are. He's easing in the door. Now he's up the stairs, and now he's in my bedroom,
Yeah,
and now we're in the bed, and he's supposed to be coming to get the kid, the baby, right? But how is this? How is
Baby
this?
over there like, hello.
Right? I thought I was going
One
to the
minute.
park, right? Hey, give it 1 minute, baby, 1 minute.
One minute.
Listen, but no, I had to set the boundary. I really did because I realized I was continuing to hurt myself every time. Every time I was hurting myself. And when he would leave, I felt, oh my God, I was devastated because it's like the realization that we are really no more. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to be anybody's booty call. So I
Yeah.
decided that we would meet with the kid to his sister's house. I would take my child to the sister's house and I would leave. I would purposely tell him I'm going to be there at 4. I would go there at 3:30 and I would leave. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to meet him because I know my heart is still
Yeah.
attached. I have to disconnect. You
Yeah.
understand? So that's
I
what I
told
have
you
to do what's best for me. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. So that's
So,
how I
so
did
is
that.
that how it's still working now, or have you been able to ease off?
Oh,
You
that's a done
now?
deal. But that was years ago. That was over 15 years ago, coach.
Okay.
Yeah, over 15 years ago. So I'm
Okay.
completely
So
done. Yeah,
gradually over time, you were able to be in his presence
right.
and be calm.
Oh, absolutely. I look at him right now. I'm like, what was I thinking?
So part of that is the separation too, right? So we
Right,
got to be able to separate
right,
to be able to breathe, to then look at the whole picture to say, huh, yeah, you wasn't all that. It's
right.
okay.
Exactly. But let me ask you something, because do you think that there's a grieving process associated with the breakup process? Like, do you
Mm,
grieve the loss of that
yeah,
love that is no
yeah.
more?
Yeah,
Right.
definitely, definitely, definitely there is a
Mhm.
grieving process. Now, the how long is that grieving process
Right.
differs by each person, because sometimes people will say, well, I hear that you should wait a year,
Right.
before
Right.
moving on. But that's not the case with everyone. I
Right.
specifically went through a whole tragedy in my relationship prior to my husband,
Mhm.
and it took almost a year for
Okay.
me to figure myself out, and then distance. But the distance, we were not in communication with. I think a part of the grieving process, you cannot properly grieve if you're still trying to be friends
Right.
or reconnect or check in daily or text daily or have conversations all the time or happy birthday.
Right.
All of that needs to go
Oh,
away in order to
no.
properly grieve and to separate
Right.
from your ex. My
Right.
problem I see too many times with professional women is that we say that we're broken up, yet we're sending the birthday text, yet we're
Exactly.
checking in on their mama,
Right.
yet we're,
Right.
having a quick conversation. Oh,
Uh-huh.
well, I just thought about you. Let me send you this article. Whatever it is, that
Right.
connection piece is
Right.
not allowing us to get over
Hmm.
that person to then move on. So I
Right.
think what you did is really, really healthy,
Right. Right.
Jay. And just for our listeners, I know that the struggle is real when that BDS, and it's so funny that you call it BDS. I call it GD, right? That it's
Oh,
you got that G.
okay. So you
You
feeling
got
me?
that good
You
thing, huh?
feeling me? Okay.
So, oh,
Right.
BDS, I love it.
Yeah. Because
So
size does
being able
matter.
to get over that, huh?
Size does matter.
Hey, to
Okay.
be able to step away is
Right.
is a part of that. So cold showers, having the
Right.
separation, even if it was someone that you have children with, because that's always a question. Well, I can't stop talking to him because we have kids together. Yeah, but you could put parameters. You
Right.
could put a boundary.
The
So I
boundary.
really love the way that you did that, Jay. And I know that there's some light bulbs going off for
Yes.
those listening and like, yeah, maybe that's something I should do, because there's a lot of women suffering from that
Right.
BDS right
Yes.
now.
Exactly.
Is there any other part of your journey that you would like to share, Jay, that maybe we didn't touch on?
Okay. As far as what? Be more specific. Give me something.
As far as now where you've come to, right? So now you've been able to get over this guy,
Yeah.
but now what is love looking like now for you as a grown woman,
Oh.
grown kid,
Oh. 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 I love it. I love it. I got it. I got it. Okay. So right now, within the last year, I've learned to love myself. Right? We talk about self-care. That
Mhm.
entails like the massages,
Yeah.
the going on the beach, the walks in the park, you know what I'm saying? Just having those individual events like per
Yeah.
week, per day, whatever. I'm about life care, right? It's
Mhm.
about knowing who I am as a queen, right?
Yes.
Knowing what I want, knowing what I desire, knowing the do's and don'ts, setting those boundaries, right? And also saying no to people who demanded so much of me, because guess what? Ultimately, saying no to them is ultimately saying yes to me. What I want, what I require, what I desire, because that's important, you know?
Yes.
So that's my focal point, focusing on me. And I've never been so happy in my singleness. I've always felt the need to be connected to somebody, to be involved in a relationship. And now, girl, I'm afraid. I'm like, God, am I going to be single forever? Because I'm good right here now. Let me know if this is what you got for me. But I'm so happy. I'm in a good place. I've started 2 businesses. I mean, I'm just doing my thing and I'm loving it. I'm finally walking in who Jay West is, right?
Beautiful.
I'm finally walking in my purpose. In my pain, coach, listen to this. In my pain, I decided to reclaim my power. And now I'm absolutely walking in my purpose unapologetically. That's what it is.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love it. So, okay, so there might be some folks listening in that are like, yeah, I'm happily single too. So, a part of that is as you continue your walk, right? Just keep your eyes open, right? So, being open to it. Like, I know there's like a caveat where people feel like you're supposed to be thirsty or desperate. Like, no, you're not thirsty or desperate. You could be happily single and still attract an amazing man into your life. So, I'm loving all of this, the life care. Ooh, wait.
Thank
So
you.
Jay, how can people find you? Where can they go to find
Oh,
you and connect
definitely.
with you?
Oh, well, I got to tell you, I have a podcast on YouTube, right? A
Okay.
video podcast, which is called Queen Up Chronicles Talk, right? That's where I
Nice.
promote Black and minority owned businesses. I do celebrity interviews worldwide. I talk about current events, relationship challenges, right? And
Nice.
also fashion. That's on YouTube. Queen Up Chronicles Talk 1. I'm the host of that. I'm the everything of that. The director, the content creator, I'm the stylist, the
The
makeup artist,
everything.
you know what I'm saying? I'm everything. So they can definitely subscribe to that channel. I have 16 episodes that are available now. But follow me on my YouTube. On my Instagram, Queen Up Chronicles Talk 1. Queen
Nice.
Up underscore Chronicles Talk 1 on
Beautiful.
Instagram. Instagram. That's where I'm at.
I
Yes.
love it. Well, thank you, Jay. I absolutely appreciate you just hanging out with us here on the Coach Cast Show. And for everyone that's listening in, if you love this podcast, please do subscribe. Please do leave 5 stars and tell a friend. In the meantime, in the between time, continue to love, continue to laugh, continue to live. Much love, many blessings.
Exactly.
Bye.